Hi, I'm Heather Moffett, and welcome to our special Rickshaw Rumble edition of Post Time. If you don't know what a Rickshaw Rumble is or why it's so special, well, we've got the next 30 minutes to explain it to you. But first, we'll check out some action from Harrington. In our show opener, number 2, I'm One Budweiser, has driver Vic Kirby in the sulky. The 3, Kick It In Kalen, is a lady in the field and is coming off a decent qualifier. And number 6, Stacey Bond, is a new addition to the John Dunlap stable. Let's send it up to announcer Jack Gallagher for the call.
They're off. There goes Kick It In Kalen out for the lead. Max Power toward the rail. I'm One Budweiser came away in third. Racing on the outside, Budovic toward the rail, Pathfinder. After that, Just Tough, Stacey Bone, and Long Gone Joe. They head up the back stretch. Kick It In Kalen has the lead by 2.5. Max Power got away in second, followed by I'm One Budweiser. Down toward the inside in fourth is Pathfinder, caught outside Budovic. Right behind Budovic, along the inside there, Just Tough, trailing our Stacey Bone, and at the end, Long Gone Joe, 28 3/5. They race on the far turn. Kick It In Kalen with a 2-lane lead over Max Power. I'm One Budweiser is there third. Another 2 lanes back to Pathfinder as they race by the stands. Leading the way, Kick It In Kalen, a length and a half over Max Power. Away third is I'm One Budweiser. Pathfinder is next. Down toward the inside, Just Tough, sitting outside Budovic. After that, it's Stacey Bone and Long Gone Joe, 57 3/5. Around the turn once again toward the backstretch. Kick It In Kalen has the lead. Racing on the outside is I'm One Budweiser. Max Power is next. Then comes Pathfinder. The others are far, far back. Coming 3 wide from the back of the pack is Stacey Bone. Going to be into 5th, but 10 off the lead. They go by 3/4. It's still Kick It In Kalen, Max Power, I'm One Budweiser on the outside, and then it's Pathfinder 126 2. They race on the final turn. Kick It In Kalen with the lead midway on the final turn. Max Power waits for some racing room, going to get it as they come off the turn. It's Kick It In Kalen, Max Power, I'm One Budweiser on the outside. On the far outside, Stacey Bone's made up a lot of ground, but is now not gaining. They near the wire. Here is I'm One Budweiser on the outside to beat Kick It In Kalen.
One Budweiser wins by a neck in 156 3. The 4-year-old son of modern art is trained and owned by Roger Bosch. Roger was the winner in last year's men's division of the Rickshaw Rumble. He was probably the oldest in the Rumble last year, too, and he showed his younger rivals a thing or two about racing. What will happen this year? You'll have to keep watching to find out. Okay, now I know everybody's really anxious about seeing the Rumbles on today's show, but we have something just a little bit, just a little bit more important to talk about right now, and it's voting, because Election Day is coming up November 2nd. Rebecca Kidner's with me. She's the lobbyist and the attorney for the Delaware Standardbred Owners Association. And first of all, I want to kick this interview off, Rebecca, by saying, you know, people just don't understand how important it is to vote. It, freaks me out, you know?
Heather, it's so important, and we just want to remind everybody to get out there and vote on November 2nd. And it's important to vote in every single election, no matter how local it is. But this one, I think, is really particularly important. In the last year, from June 2009 to June 2010, we lost 5 legislators in the Delaware General Assembly who were very, very strong supporters of the horse racing industry. The late Senator Thurman Adams passed away in June 2009. He owned an agriculturally based business. He understood horse racing. He was very supportive of our industry. And then this year, in June of 2010, 4 House of Representatives members retired, announced their retirements, and they were very, very strong supporters of the horse racing industry. In fact, one of those representatives was Representative Bill Oberly, who, as you probably know, was the champion of the Horse Racing Redevelopment Act in 1994. And without that act, slots would not have been legal in our state, and the kind of purse enhancement and the money that we've raised for the past 15 years would not have been possible. So we have a real change in the dynamic of the legislature down in Dover, and we need to make sure that we keep voting in people who are going to support our industry and who understand the economic impact that it has on our whole state.
A lot of people vote like every 4 years. Presidential election comes around, people are out voting. But yes, the local elections are so important, especially in a small state like Delaware, right.
Well, all 41 of our representatives are up this year, and 11 of our senators, our state senators, are up. So that's very important. Even though it's considered a midterm election and we're not voting for a president, it's still important to come out. And what I really hope that horsemen know is that the DSOA spends a lot of time and a lot of effort into going down, talking to legislators and talking to candidates who are running for office who have never held office in these election years, finding out where they are on legislative issues. We have all that information at the DSOA office, so please, we're not going to tell people how to vote. The DSOA doesn't endorse candidates, but we have a lot of information, and we want people to be really informed so that they can make a good decision. So please call the DSOA office and talk to Sal if you have any questions about how people have voted in the past or what some of their ideas are right now. I'll give you an example. Just in this last year, we had an idea from some legislators who wanted to put a small private gaming parlor in the middle of Wilmington. It had no ties to purse enhancement. It had no ties to a racetrack. And so those are the kind of things that should really raise a red flag, and they did. And we jumped on it quickly, but we want to let horsemen know that there are people who have those ideas, and they don't necessarily realize that the original Horse Racing Redevelopment Act was to revitalize our industry. And we want to make sure that no one forgets about that.
I want to mention Rebecca. Not only pretty, not only smart, but she knows harness racing. Her parents are Pleasant and Delaware Batson, so I'm sure you even know how to paddock, harness a horse, and everything, right?
I do.
We just want everybody out there, watching, say, okay, she's one of us, so you know a thing or two. Now, the Rickshaw Rumble is on today's show. Anybody that you're rooting for, you think that'll do well?
I think I'm going to go for the Miss Delaware Victor Kirby team.
Oh, nice call. Yep. Well, I think that will be a great team. That'll be later on in the show in the Colts division. Thank you, Rebecca, so much for being here.
Thank you, Heather.
We'll be right back.